Mania that year, and that I remember. I thought it was a pretty solid match. I mean, nothing like super probably memorable, but I mean, it was. I remember it as being good. But of course, Punk never got over one on him. So
nope.
So whatever. But the next we'd have a very weird match here. We have a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was supposed to be for the Divas title, which would see Natalya against Michelle McCool, Layla. But before the match would begin, Michael Cole would receive an email from the anonymous Raw general manager.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this match would turn into a fatal four-way for whatever reason. So yes, this would now turn into a fatal four-way match for the Divas Championship, which would see Natalya defending against Michelle McCool versus Layla and versus Eve. All of a sudden, this became a four-way for God knows whatever reason.
And
I'm gonna say one thing though about the anonymous Raw general manager, because I don't know when's the next time we're gonna talk about it, but I always got the impression, like, of course, people always had their takes on like who they thought it was gonna be eventually, and I guess as it seemed, I guess they never really had like an actual plan of like who was going to wind up being. I think they kind of just did this and think that they just figure it out as it went.
Mm-hmm.
But I always got the impression with how certain situations turned out and like how things were. I at one point, call me crazy, but I actually got the impression at times where I thought they could have pulled like a swerve and it actually could have been Michael Cole. Especially when they defend like those certain heels that he liked at times. Like I thought that could have been him like pulling the strings all along.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because since he's always the guy that reads them.
Yeah.
And that it's always on his email.
Yeah.
So
so I always thought that could have been just him like coming up with the stuff and like or whatever. So I always thought that could have been him. So I don't know what you guys think, but if you think Michael Cole, too, actually could have, like, if you would have thought that would have made sense at the time, I guess he could have been the anonymous Raw GM, feel free to express your thoughts on that, because that's what I thought. But, so yeah, as far as the Fatal 4-Way for the Divas title, not much to say here. Actually, I don't even think we read anything, like, noteworthy of, like, putting down here, but...
not really, it's just the person that was randomly brought in the match is the one that won the title.
Yeah, which... Yeah, so Eve would win the title, new champ, star rating for me.
Yes, it was for me too.
So, actually, no, I did star and a half. I think I did star and a half, you did star.
Yeah.
Okay, but, which, that kind of sucks because I still, like, of all the rewinds we've done, I don't think we've had one women's match that's gotten a good rating.
No, I think the closest one was the Sable, that strap match.
Oh, at the Rumble 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that wasn't like...
Yeah, but like...
that wasn't really good.
Yeah, but so far
that's the only one that we've found like any like real positive takeaways from.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
at the end of the show here, we're gonna have to like I'm gonna probably go up the upcoming lineup and stuff again, but I gotta find something here, man. Like there's gotta be some show or there's gotta be some match down the road.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
We haven't had any good stuff to say about like the past women's wrestling, which is sad because nowadays that's probably like, the best stuff we'll talk about at times. So
yes.
All right, so then we had that 4-way, and then before the 40-man Royal Rumble match, I didn't have it in the notes here, but it just came back to me that there was a little segment here with Daniel Bryan, Gail Kim, and the Bella Twins for whatever reason.
God. Oh yeah, because Daniel Bryan's involved in that little love fest with the Bella Twins, but then
I guess it turned out it was like Kim and Gail Kim had something going on.
Yeah.
Not going to really say anything about it, but it was something that did happen on the show.
And it's ironic because one of the Bella Twins is Daniel Bryan's actual wife later in the future.
Yeah, Brie Bella, so, it's funny.
Yeah.
And ironic. So then we would have the 40-man Royal Rumble match. They go through the stats, they go down... They break everything down like always, which still do to this day. But, of course, they point out that it's a 40-man match, so, like, a lot of the stuff, like, probably would be a lot different now. So, they said that, like, 27 was the lucky spot, like, for many years that produced the most amount of winners.
Which is true.
And they say that the number one now, probably the number one entrance, that even it's supposed to be an even bigger disadvantage. So let's just get into this Rumble match. We're gonna do it in a little bit of a different format here than we usually do. Usually we just run down the entrance, and then like we'd go down through like eliminations and all that stuff. But I think we're just gonna go all the way through it here because they give us a lot here. So I think we can probably just run down and just explain it as we go. So first, the first entrant in this Royal Rumble match would be CM Punk.
Yeah.
The leader of the New Nexus. Yeah. And then right as before they could get to the number two participant, you'd see Wade Barrett and Ezekiel Jackson. Their music would play, which was terrible, by the way. The later remixed version of that theme song in the days is definitely pretty good. I really like that one, but this original one was not it. But
no.
Yeah, then all of a sudden Justin Gabriel and then Heath Slater, they'd all circle around him. Then they'd try to start attacking him first, but then the rest of the New Nexus would come out. Then the anonymous Raw general manager would send an email or whatever. Then Michael Cole would announce like that if they didn't stop brawling and order wasn't restored, that they'd all be disqualified from the Royal Rumble match. And of course, everyone in those factions were in the Royal Rumble match, but there's 40 men, so got a lot of slots to fill.
Yeah.
So then it turned out that the actual number two guy in this match would be Daniel Bryan. So CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, two to start out this Rumble. So
yeah, it was that
great choice.
Yeah, great choices.
Great choice to start here. But so those two would start out battling, and then Justin Gabriel would enter at number 3.
He come right back out.
Yeah, so he'd come right back out. So that was kind of funny.
And
then he would be the first eliminated from this Royal Rumble match. The next would be Zack Ryder, who would enter, and then he would be the second eliminated. They'd make quick works of him. Yeah. Oh, there was this one little spot with the Rough Rider, which was kind of cool, but that was really the only good thing I could really say about it.
And the young Daniel Bryan had the first 2 eliminations in the span of 10 seconds.
Yeah, so then fifth we get William Regal, which of course there's so he would get in there with Punk and Daniel Bryan, and of course he's one of the men who helped train Daniel Bryan, so there's backstory there.
One of the low-key goats that doesn't really get talked about.
Yeah, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. Matt Striker, I actually remember. Also cool here, Matt Striker at this time. Now that I look back at it, I actually think he was a very good commentator. He had a good use of vocabulary, and he'd actually call the moves, and you could just tell that he was just like a really big fan. And
that's because he's a teacher.
But he just Matt Striker was awesome. But and then Regal would enter, but so I was gonna say like what Striker is, like he called William Regal the best to never win the world title, which he's probably one of them. But
yeah.
Then next would be Ted DiBiase. Which is funny is Gabriel, Ryder, and Regal were the 3, 4, and 5 entrants, and then they would be the 1, 2, and 3 to be eliminated.
Yeah.
And then number 6 would be Ted DiBiase Jr., of course. Then number 7 would be John Morrison, and then of course, right as Regal was getting eliminated, DiBiase, or I think it was DiBiase, he'd hit Morrison.
No, it was actually Regal.
Oh, it was Regal. Then DiBiase eliminated Regal. Okay,
yeah.
That's right. So then Regal would hit Morrison to the outside for a second to make it look like he got eliminated, but instead his feet never hit the ground. He was hanging on to the barrier. He'd hop up on top. He'd basically like walk it and like plank it, and then he'd just hop back up on the steps and would make his way back into the ring. Very cool spot here. John Morrison, of course, cool to see him back now, but one of the most athletically gifted talents I think I've ever seen in the history of the business.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he was always pulling off those stunts. They'd always say allude to that parkour style of his. So yeah, so he would. That was probably one of the spots of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then next would be Yoshitatsu at number 8.
Man, there are a lot. Man, Raw is just taking over this list that I'm seeing here.
Yeah. So we're through 8 entrants here, And all of them have been Raw guys, minus Justin Gabriel, who was a SmackDown guy. So, yeah, I did not actually pay any attention to that until like just now. So,
this is like, we also got to remember, this is like the last run of the brand split, last few months of the brand split.
yeah, that's true. The number 9 would be Husky Harris. It's funny, some of these guys, when they'd run down the ring, they were like hauling serious ass.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Who's
the next one? Who's the next one?
Number 9. So number 9 was Husky Harris. Number 10 was Chavo Guerrero. Finally, a SmackDown guy.
Yeah.
It's also funny to point out here that I actually did not realize, and I completely forgotten that Chavo Guerrero was even around at this time period.
Yeah, I know.
Because like he hadn't really done anything like notable like for like years really at this point.
No, after 08, he was.
Yeah, because 08 was actually the last year. Like, I mean, he was ECW champion or whatever, and he got jobbed out to Kane like at Mania or whatever. But still, I mean, he was featured a bit because like the La Familia stuff, you know, and all that. Like, at least he was like getting like some TV time.
But like,
but then after that, he was like was in the Hornswoggle and.
He was off TV for a long ass time. Like I don't even remember him on TV in 2010.
Yeah, he's probably on Superstars.
Probably.
But yeah, so yeah, it was shout out to Chavo, and also they put him over a little bit here because he came in there and he kept hitting like a ton of suplexes.
Yeah, but of course it didn't last long.
No, he didn't last so long, but you know, Chavo Guerrero, another underrated talent. Yeah, Chavo's great, but then at 11 we'd have Mark Henry, and he would he'd come in there, and you know they do the usual stick like later on where you know they have to have like all the guys and like a whole bunch of guys at once, just like have to eliminate them over the top.
Yeah,
that whole thing, you know, he's the giant in the ring, so they gotta like do that little thing, which that happens almost in like every single Rumble.
Yep.
But then at 12 we'd have JTG, who I guess was a SmackDown guy. Like once again, I almost forget that he was even around too. Yet again, he was around for many years after Crime Time, but it's kind of like after Crime Time.
They didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, well they did.
I mean, what could you do with him?
Yeah, well, things didn't pan out really for either one of them, him or Shad.
No.
But then at 13 with that Michael McGillicuddy, he's one of the guys who ran down there.
All in ass.
Yeah, he ran down there like super fast. Some of the stuff is kind of funny to me. I don't know why. Maybe it shouldn't have been. Actually, no, it is kind of funny. Screw it. At 14, we'd have Chris Masters.
Another guy
number 14 here, SmackDown guy. It's funny to see Chris Masters at this time because, you know, back in like 5 and like 6, and like it seemed like they were like kind of high on him. You know, he's the masterpiece. Never had a title run by any means, but you had to think that like with the second you saw him, you had to think that down the road that was a guy they're looking to put one on.
Especially Vince, you know, he loves his muscle guys.
Yeah, and he was definitely qualifies as that.
Mm-hmm.
But then in 15 we had David Otunga. So we'd have David Otunga, another New Nexus member. So at this point, we have we have four guys from the New Nexus in this one.
Yeah.
Number 16, we had Tower Rex. That's a guy I forgot about, honestly.
Yeah.
No offense, but you know.
Now we're getting to the point of the Rumble where the Nexus were just cleaning house.
Yeah. So because another thing to mention is eventually they eliminate everybody, and then it's like just the four of them minus Mason Ryan. Just the four of them minus Mason Ryan, and so then they just
They just beat the shit out of people and then throw them over the top rope.
Basically, so Tower Rex would come in there, and Vladimir Kozlov would enter. Now that was that was a funny one, watching him charge down the ring. He'd come out there. They made quick works of him too. So,
was Kali next?
John Morrison was another guy they all got rid of.
Oh yeah, but
then after Vladimir Kozlov, it was R-Truth.
Oh, R-Truth.
Yeah, made quick works of him too.
Yeah, but next would be Kali, and he put up some of a fight. He actually eliminated one of them. But...
Yeah, Kali would eliminate Husky Harris actually.
Yeah.
And then
but like he would eliminate one, and then the next one was the next entrant.
Yeah, then the next entrant was Mason Ryan. See, this is all convenient at this point.
Yeah.
So then and then finally once it'd be just the four of them down there again, and then entrant number 21, shocker, it was none other than Booker T.
Oh,
This would be Booker T's first appearance in WWE in
4 years?
almost 4 years. It felt like 10
yeah, it felt longer.
because of course.